Hello, welcome back to Dance's End. This is session 18 entitled Hidden in Shadow. Last session, the group traveled through a space that we called the research lab, and during that adventurous adventure, they found a bunch of treasure, some crazy stuff, and a thingy mabob, and a bunch of doohickeys, and keys, and screaming cats, probably. Yeah, exciting stuff. They then exited out of the bottom floor of the research lab, which would put them on level 2, or layer 2 to be more specific. And they elected to go north into a cavernous tunnel and continue on a western path. The path in question, every 5 or 10 or so feet, there were gold panels basically secured to the walls, similar to the gold panels that were present inside of the research lab. These appear to have barred members of the group from teleporting out, and the presumption is that it also bars individuals from teleporting in to the Hellmaw. Traveled for a time looking for a space that didn't have these, but ultimately their path ended at a terminus. This path led to a natural cavern, in the center of which they can see a large dais with arcane runes on the surface, the top of it. And floating above the dais is about a 2.5 foot tall, about 8-inch wide crystal that appears to be slowly oscillating in space and glowing kind of a purplish blue in coloration. Um, yeah. With that, the table is yours.
Seems to be a lot of floating crystals in this place.
My imp rides in on Jermaine's shoulder.
I love that. Can I pet it?
Yeah, well, it's like a raven.
Does it have? Remind me, does it have a name?
I haven't named it.
Okay, well, you work on that.
What?
You work on that. Let me know so I know what to call it as I pet it.
We're gonna name it.
Off their own piece of Willy Wonka.
I don't know why the name Randy is trapped in my mind.
It is a rather impish name.
There's
Somewhere
a man
Brent
named
is
Randy
happy for an
trapped
R
in-
name.
Yeah, also true.
Brent.
But there's a man named Randy trapped in your brain.
Could be.
Could be.
This is a much smaller crystal than the giant floating cubes that we have seen before, yeah?
Yes,
Mhm.
correct. Can't believe I'm doing this.
I was muted. Does it feel weird in here?
Great question. It is temperately colder than the spaces you've been in, much colder than the research lab, which had a bit of a warmth to it.
He might be in a
Mhm.
position
Why is that
to
happening?
win.
Stop playing sound from. Okay, sorry.
I
Trying
couldn't
to.
hear anything.
The stream will have heard it.
Sorry,
But
stream.
it's okay.
Randy Savage!
The temperature colder than in the other space, but not so cold that you're freezing. It looks like or it feels like the air around the space is very dry, almost like salty.
We must look at the ceiling, too.
So the ceiling is stalactites hanging from the ceiling. Some of them look like they're made of crystalline kind of structure. Some of them look like they're rock. There are also gold panels on the ceiling here.
Did you mention that there's runes on this surface?
Yep.
Are the runes in any language identifiable?
I agree with Willy.
No,
Wonka.
they look like they're more patterning runes, like that are kind of designs mainly. There is one
Okay.
symbol that kind of stands out closer to the center. It seems to be kind of pressed in a number of repeats. And it looks as though it's a demonic glyph for the demon prince Ashmedea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, another one of those.
Ashmedea. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, where did we just leave? We just left
The research lab.
the research lab. And we
before
were
that,
dealing
we
with
found
the outer.
The what?
We're dealing with things from like the outer realms, right? Like things from space.
Aberrations.
Aberrations. So now this is suddenly Ashmodean
Yeah, but
Infernal.
we're a little bit further away from the research lab.
Okay.
Just yet another one of the them hanging out under here.
John, do you think that like our knowledge in the arcane would reveal anything about the setup, the runes, the quality, like what this crystal is,
Great
anything like
question.
that?
So you're kind of trying to like get as much information as you can about the dais and
Mhm.
the crystal. You have three options. You can make an arcana roll, you can make a religion roll, or you can make a history roll. Depending on the type of skill you choose for your specific lore attempt here, you'll yield different results.
So all of us can try.
I'll do arcana. Well, let's each. Maybe we
Sorry.
could each do something
Apologies.
different.
For whatever you elect, you have to have training, and if you do not have
Yes.
training, you can't
Okay.
attempt.
I could do history.
Okay, I can do arcana.
Sounds like I get to do religion.
I'm not trained in any of those.
Boy, not good, not good.
Can I lick the wall?
It is
Oh,
all.
It might
God.
be salty based on what.
I know, that's what she wants to know.
Ooh,
It
that
smells salty.
Yep.
5.
Natural 20 on the religion check.
Mm.
Nice.
Okay. So the religion check will tell you that this space around the gem and also below the gem appears to be an artificial soul well. A soul well, in normal parlance, is a naturally occurring phenomenon in the unending spiral, specifically on the plane of Urs, where unborn souls, or basically kind of the motes of like living essence, are pushed through the astral sea into the material plane. This happens at certain points in the unending spiral, not as commonly in the material plane, but definitely outside of the material plane, a bit more common. Some entities find these wells and will utilize them for nefarious purposes, whereas in the material plane, they can be kind of sources of power, and they can also just be kind of seen as like a filtering point for purifying evil things.
Are they also sometimes used to as the source of vitae for Undaunted, or
No. Vitae is
Oh.
like physical fluid that will be kind of created from.
just making sure that the Orvo and the other location was not run off from something happening
With the 20, we can go into it a little bit more just so you understand a bit more about these fluids that we're talking about. So there's actually three kind of cardinal fluids for magic, and it'll be Orva, which is a runoff, like a negative space. Then there's Vitae, which is kind of like the living force. But then, like, instead of just having action and kind of like impulse, is what Vitae produces, there's also an essence that is kind of more of a golden color, a golden luster, which goes by many names in setting. I would say that as a Jernarin, it probably is called mana to you. And basically, the gold liquid mixed with the red liquid creates like pure vitae, which can be kind of used to like blood in Golem or what have you, and then that creates the byproduct vitae. Or Orvo, brain did a dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, wait, hold on.
The byproduct, the runoff, the effective nuclear waste of the magic nuclear waste is the Orvo.
And that is just from the religion check?
That is just from the natural 20 on that religion check. You bet.
Okay.
Soul knows lots about soul wells.
That tracks. Anything different from my pathetic little 18
So an 18 on
in Arcana?
An 18 on Arcana will tell you more about the sigil. The sigil doesn't appear
Okay.
to be a sigil or a glyph or ward or anything that's like protecting inwards. Instead, it seems to be a gate. So the magic symbol that you're seeing present here is actually in itself a filtered gate to the astral sea. It is allowing for unborn souls to flow out into the material plane here. But what you're noticing is that it's done in such a way that it's kind of like pulverizing the gem with its flow. Almost as if you were like washing a vegetable in the faucet or what have you. Except upside down and magical. Depends on the vegetable. It could be magical.
You don't know how I cook.
Alright. Sorry, apologies,
I'm getting the idea that the flow of souls is purifying this gem.
Correct.
And
I'm trying to be
like-
about it, but yeah, exactly.
so, like, in my mind right now, it's like from the Ashmodean realm, there's like a faucet that's opened up into here.
Oh no, sorry. Let's
Is-
focus on that a little bit. The astral sea is not the Ashmodean realm. The reason why you presume that glyph is there is because Ashmodea is a powerful dragon and also a demon. So it's like the magic was crafted by an acolyte of theirs.
Okay.
It's basically like a word of power that was added to it to make it strong enough to do what it's doing.
Understood.
I'm imagining this like those ball fountains.
Oh yeah, that shoot them up and they're like...
And then it rolls.
It may or may not be
Mm.
elevate or levitating because of the magical souls pulsing out of it. Yeah.
Could be a soul lava lamp.
Hell yeah. Oh, that could be fun.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions about the dais?
No.
Okay, Ronnie, since you're the only one not focused on the center of the room, make a perception check.
Okay. 12.
Okay. I would say that as Soul's kind of wandering around the outside of the dais, you're not sure if it's like a trick of like your dark vision or just kind of like a trick of the way the crystals work here. But you swear you see something move from here, like behind Soul, to the other like spot behind Soul.
Yeah, she'll look over at Soul and be like, maybe we should stick together a little closer.
Mm.
And then she'll pick up a rock from the floor and lick it.
It is also
Salty.
salty.
Yes!
Actually, I would say that there's enough salt in here. Go ahead and do me a favor and make a Constitution saving throw.
Aww.
Like, there's enough.
Wait,
salt,
who's making this?
There's enough salt content here. There's a potential of like
Dehydration.
water now.
Or vomiting?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
water right now, and basically you're like pouring it across your tongue, trying to like cleanse it of the. Like, this is not just like, yummy, a salt lick for like a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
It's
is
like pure salt.
the crystal itself.
Yeah. It's like
Pure
licking a salt
Colombian.
lamp times 12.
Yeah. Tom got my joke. Why are Tom and Andy both are hiding behind the barriers and their tokens, respectively?
Because something's trying to fucking sneak up on me, man. I don't.
I'm trying to get as much hiding as I can.
3/4 cover.
Okay. No one has stepped up onto the dais so far,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Well, it looks
No.
like Arya's doing that.
Can I have some of your water?
In what way does it look like Arya stepping
you're very
onto
close.
the dais?
You're close.
No.
Oh, no.
I would give Randy my water skin.
Thanks.
By the way,
Don't lick
the
the wall. It's very salty.
Mm,
oh,
why would
Arya
I
gives-
want to lick the wall?
I know Arya gives Ronnie a look.
I had to know. You can't tell me that you can't smell the salt in the air.
Diva.
Yeah, of course. But the last thing I wanted to do was lick it.
Girl.
Diva.
I had to know.
Licking
How
the
do
wall?
you know?
Licking the wall, jumping off high thing, falling
Girly.
by me.
Arya is giving you the like, girl, I don't know if we can come back from this. This is rough. Also, the familiar's name is Randy, but it's spelled Wrandee.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
I'm sure Brett will hate that it has a W in front of it.
Hermaine is gonna call it Randy. Randy.
Randy.
Yeah, pronouncing the
Randy.
W like full on like
Wandy.
Randy.
Randy.
Wandy.
Randy. Okay, so we are having a little too much levity. This is a very serious moment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Does anybody want to step up onto the dais, or are you just staying at distance? There's other parts of the cave. I mean, just live your life.
If it were something that needed fighting, I would be the first to step into that fighting, but this does not seem to be something we're meant to necessarily fight.
I mean, Arya is not that bold and brave. She might step around,
Okay.
and I'm going to move my token around to explore more of the cave.
Sure. As you start to walk away from the dais, you would all hear a booming voice kind of present through the space.
Ooh.
It speaks in Draconic. Does anyone present speak it as well?
Let me make sure I don't. I do not.
I think
I'm sure Soul does,
I-
right?
If you understand it, then you would hear the words as they are meant to be understood. If you do not understand it, it is a booming, terrifying, and very guttural voice that is just commanding and intimidating. So much so that even if you can understand it, I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I be? Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I can. I have a thing. I have a thing. Features and traits.
Wow, I'm rolling spectacular tonight.
You are scared. You are like the voice is very scary.
Yeah, she's
Arya,
gonna
you're
go back over
not
here to Soul.
scared. And Soul's not scared either. Throw that wisdom for me when you get a second, Termaine. But
Yeah, sure.
the voice kind of seems to
Oh, what
come
about
from-
my imp?
Oh, it's scared. It's funnier that way.
Rude.
That will fail, Termaine, so you are also
Okay.
frightened.
I had no chance.
You hear the voice say, in Draconic, "Who are you that disturbs my slumber?" And then as you hear that, you would all see coming from around the corner to the north a mass of smoke pulling around the corner. It appears that it takes dragon form.
I'm sorry, you said it's smoke?
It is nothing besides smoke, but then it starts to become more physical, compact,
Ooh, that's
and
creepy.
it
I like
takes
it.
dragon form. The individual that you see before you asked its question. Who responds?
I don't speak Draconic.
I guess it'll be me. What did we decide our name was again?
Don't walk away from me. I don't think we chose one.
We are Lord sanctioned, and we are searching for kidnapped children that seem to have been spirited away down here.
There are no children here. Leave this place.
You seem like you would know quite a bit about what's going on down here. Have you seen or heard of any brigands or...
It steps
Halt.
forward twice. Once very quietly, and then once very loudly. It creates a din inside of the space that strangely resonates. You can see the crystals shaking in their like structures in the wall. It looks directly at you. You dare ask me questions? You dare to assume that I would assist you with your problems? Kneel, mortal. I am Bastion Nefondis, the hidden shadow. You will speak to me when I ask you to, and only then. Tom in his mind's like, I'm killing this fucking dragon.
What is he saying?
I'm ready.
It sounds mean. It definitely
Yeah.
has picked up on a more kind of like raspy and like evil kind of sound to it.
They would very much like us to leave.
Oh, well, I guess we can leave. Are we leaving?
Sol will start backing up and nudging Ronnie back behind them.
Yeah, she's like taking a step back every time you do.
You would see from your position, Arya, that it definitely looks at you every so often. The strange coalescing of shadow in what is an eye and a pupil kind of occasionally like glances at you, unmistakably kind of like drilling a dagger of sight through you, kind of acknowledging your presence. But then you notice that as it's paying attention to them slowly stepping away, it kind of goes like it's sniffing the air, and then loudly, "Do you have an arcane forge key upon you?"
Say no, say no.
Am I allowed to speak now?
I said when I ask you to not. And it kind of like suddenly kind of shifts, like a blur of smoke being blown in the wind towards you. Its face immediately like kind of in your face.
Oh.
You will not be coy with me, child.
Sol is surprisingly unintimidated by this whole thing, given
Doesn't
the
roll.
family history.
Because you rolled well on your fucking fever check.
It makes sense. The Barlow family. It's just.
I would say everybody's kind of shaking their frightened state as well. It's well past its time. Like it's now kind of a situation where you can continue role playing being frightened, but there is no mechanical obligation to.
I do.
Place it on the dais. It says that and kind of turns his attention away from you, almost as if you're insignificant to it at that point, and is staring at the soul stone thing. Do you try to move away from it?
I'm trying to move around to the side of the
Like,
soul well.
do you look like you're complying, or do you just move away from it?
I will pull out the forge key as I
Okay.
move around.
Then it will allow you to gain some ground on it. But once you kind of made it to that position, you're pretty sure you're at the conclusion of its patience.
I will hold the forge key out over the dice.
It's still watching the stone.
waiting for something to happen while holding it over the dais.
It said place it on a dais.
Oh, okay. Slowly lower it to the edge of the dais.
Do you place it on the stone?
Watching its reaction as it gets closer and closer to see if there's any tells, but then yes.
Is the key currently like the conglomerate of 3 keys?
Yes. Yes.
It will rent from that the 7-fold key. And the 7-fold keys pieces will kind of move around the gemstone in a similar pattern to what you saw them kind of take up when they were on the circle platforms in the research lab. As they hold there, the dragon kind of looks at it with like a very malicious looking grin, and then it slowly lowers its talon down onto the dais, touching it almost as if it was like a person testing water to see if it were ready for a boil, like it were hot. And upon the touch, there's nothing, there's no reaction. The grin spreads even wider, and it steps up to the stone, reaches inwards, grabs a hold of it, and pulls it free of the dais. The 7-fold key drops to the ground, and you see the dragon immediately like grimace in pain, and you can watch as its feet start to kind of obliterate, as if something were kind of causing some sort of effect on its smoky form. It lifts off of the ground very suddenly and becomes just like a blur of smoke that moves away back towards Arya in a very kind of sudden fashion. The gemstone still in its hand, it kind of stops there. You would see kind of white, almost strangely kind of Casper the Friendly Ghost shaped things kind of fluttering out of the middle space. And the only thing that they don't have like hands like Casper or whatever. They just have a very kind of face-like kind of illusion kind of on their face area, I guess, the top of them, the head of them. This is more in line with like if you've seen Princess Mononoke, like the tree spirits. It's more of that kind of just like it's a few circles and each one of them is different, but they all kind of start rushing up into the air. The dragon holding the gemstone kind of looks down at it, looks to Arya, who's the closest, turns and holds it out to her. You then see like a very kind of sudden sniff, and then you hear in your head, in whatever language you consider to be your language of choice, his voice say, "You are a being who signs pacts with powers greater than you. I can smell the face taint on you. Take this, and take it where I deem it must go. If you do this, I will grant you more power than you could ever dream of."
Oh, Arya.
This is only for you in your head, by the way. But it holds out the gemstone to you. Do you take it?
Yeah.
It seems like doing so kind of is like a, not like 100% confirmed like signing away of your soul, but it is at least a step in that direction. The second you take the gemstone, it kind of shrinks down to a smaller, kind of more manageable size, and it no longer seems to glow with smoke or light, but you watch as the dragon basically disappears in a small stream of dark light into the gemstone. "Take me from this place," is the voice that you hear in your head.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's completely still now. Quiet, dead as the grave. The only thing that remains is the kind of it would have lasted for a few moments, the kind of burst of light and kind of energy and souls from the center, but you realize that it kind of dissipates back into the kind of it's reascended back into the veil and no longer kind of manifesting in the material. So it's still happening. Like it's still a well of souls, but it's no longer one that is like been pulled away from the veil for whatever reason.
I'm
Is
sorry,
the
just to be
arcane
clear, the dragon is in the stone?
The dragon handed her the stone, and then
Right.
it disappeared, and a line of black light moved into the stone.
Okay.
And then she would have heard a voice in her head that said, "Take me out of this place."
I feel like I have a question that is like above table,
Yeah.
and that might ruin the fantasy of it. But I kind of want to ask anyway.
Better to
And if you
have
don't,
questions answered. Yeah.
yeah, if you don't want to answer it, then like, I have like my little like warlock gaydar is like pinging, right? And I'm like, okay, she is trying to like bond and give me power. Mechanically, is this at all related to the kind of like new warlock subclasses? Like, I mean, would I identify this as sort of like a fiendish patron, a great old one patron? Is that something that like I would have even access to, or is that way too out
Great
of the?
question. So for the Tuesday game, we took the undead patron from 2014's edition,
Okay,
and we converted it to 2024. The dragon you currently have in your space is, if it were to operate in a way that would change your pact, if
hmm
you do sign over to it, your pact would shift to an undead pact.
got it.
Do the rest of us notice something strange happening in the moment between the dragon and Arya? Do we see the smoke
So
going into the
what you would
stone?
have seen in your side of it is, and this is completely honest, the creature grabbed the stone, a part of it seeming to burn at the touch of the dais after the stone is relinquished. It fly away from that space very suddenly, landing in darkness over near where you last saw Arya. And when you kind of try to focus on anything, the center point becomes like a blinding light of ghosts kind of erupting out of the space. Think of like Poltergeist or
Mhm.
like Ghostbusters, like that kind of whoosh out of the space. So it probably would have obscured your vision enough to kind of block it. But you can go ahead and make a perception check. I have the DC in my head to see if you would have seen anything regarding Arya and the dragon.
Not good.
Not at all. That light was very blinding with that 6.
Got it.
You
I mean,
would,
Arya is. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, you would see that after the fact, she is holding a smaller version of that same gemstone. Unless she wants to make a sleight of hand check to hide that away.
No. Arya is.
What happened? Tremaine would say.
Arya would kind of move forward and say, "This dragon recognized me and recognized a wound in me, and it seeks to control me through that wound with promises of power.
Hmm.
I'm
We're worried about you. That's very worrisome.
You
well,
need healing? I could heal a wound.
Oh, Ranny.
Rani, this is a an emotional wound that is not easily healed by
Oh,
medicine or magic. Um,
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
it's okay. And it's a wound that today grants me, my arcane gifts. So this dragon, it saw that in me and it thought that I would freely cooperate with it, with him.
Oh, he wanted to exploit you.
Right.
Mm,
I don't
that's a jerk
know.
move.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. I don't know what he can hear or do as he resides in this crystal, as far as I can tell. Um, so hopefully, you know, his power and influence are limited while he resides here. It's clear that he wants to leave this chamber. So here's my thoughts. It might be a great boon to us to have the favor of powerful beings such as this. If we remove him from this chamber, he might grant us some benefit. Um, I don't. I did. I mean, I allowed myself to take. Its its new home into my hands, but I certainly didn't promise to do its bidding.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I think I might have something that would help provide you with a measure of protection. It would make me feel better if you would allow me to cast this spell upon you.
Oh,
Are you okay with that?
yeah, of course.
And then cast protection from evil and good
Love it.
on Arya. Touch Arya, like maybe put a hand on each of Arya's shoulders, and his hands sort of lighten with like a yellowish light.
Remain. I've cast this spell on you before.
You have.
I have. It
Well,
feels. I'm grateful to have you return the favor.
thank you.
I don't know. Should we bring the crystal out of this chamber with us? Or should we leave it here where someone else might find it?
Will you be in danger? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
I am probably not the best to advise on emotional wounds and how to handle them, but I am probably the least frightened of a giant dragon of us all. But I would not trust it other than one. My family doesn't have a great history with dragons and them living up to promises. Not to say that we can't take the gem and find some way to utilize it, but
Didn't your grandma kill dragons?
yeah. There was
Mm.
one that she and my grandfather worked with that helped them out, but it was a I don't know that it was a equivalent favor.
So
They
when
don't seem
Arya,
very trustworthy.
do you know if Arya leaves behind the crystal, whether or not there'll be some like revenge or consequences for Arya?
I don't know if there's a consequence if I leave behind this crystal.
Did it tell you where it wanted you to take it beyond just not here?
No, just out. Wait, we can tell that there's those so to the DM, there's like the things that prevent teleportation out from here, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, there it seems like teleportation out from here is not possible. I mean, there's something preventing it from just walking out, I guess. So,
What are the consequences to the world that we're trying to protect if we bring this thing out?
what are the consequences to the world if adventurers find it here?
Mhm.
While they're discussing, John Soul will go.
What if we
this way
break
to
it?
look where they came from originally.
Sure. What you would notice before you step away is that the forge key still remains on the dais.
Oh, great! I was
completely
gonna
inert,
try to
lying there.
mage hand to grab that.
Yeah, so when you cast Mage Hand, you'll notice that it starts to kind of like discombobulate when it gets closer to the well, and then dissipates, almost as if the magic is being kind of taken and kind of devoured by the souls as they move.
Makes sense.
It's like pressure washer.
Yeah. What if
I
we
will-
break it?
I'll step on to the dais towards
Yep.
the key.
You walk over to the key, you pick it up, you can already feel the first, like when you pick up the first slat of it, but the magic that was inside of it is no longer present. And you take all 7 shards of it, and you have an inert 7-fold arcane forge key. And if memory serves, that means you have a 4
3 and 5.
or 3, 5 in the original.
Typically, breaking a crystal like this, I mean, at least, with the little, the minor amounts of arcane knowledge that I have from, my studies before and things I've learned over the last few years, I don't think that'll do it. I don't think that'll get us anywhere.
I will say, when you make your circuit into that back area, it does look like there are piles of crystal and salt. There's a specifically strange looking pile, or kind of like growth, on the wall here, which, just for whatever reason, you pause and kind of catch with your light and look directly at it. And what you find to be kind of absolutely horrifying is that this structure appears to be person shaped. And as you look closer, you can see that it looks like a person who has been completely turned into salt, and crystalline growths have come off of them. More pieces of persons appear to be present inside of the broken rubble. And the other thing you'll notice is it looks like there are salt items, like swords, armor, and the like. It looks like everything of substance was drained out of the forms.
Ah. Well, I guess that might be a reason why I didn't want to be here.
Ronnie will come over. Oh.
Yeah, don't lick those.
No, maybe they licked the walls. I won't
And
like them
didn't get
again.
water.
Ronnie was like, maybe they lick the walls, and then pop, they're just a crystal. Falls over and breaks.
The real danger is the realization.
Did I get a spit take? Did that happen? Did I almost get one? Okay, God, that was close. I saw you drinking, I'm like, joke's still gonna happen. We're still online.
You almost got me.
Alright. So, Ronnie, you take a second to kind of, now seeing this, kind of investigate the spaces, and what you'll notice is everywhere there is crystal, salt crystal, it appears to be remnants of people, individuals.
Oh, I like the person.
Yeah.
It makes it even worse.
It seems that this is all that's left of whatever these
She takes her little journal out. Salt people. They were assaulted.
The salt that is people.
Love it.
That
Well,
was a bit of a stretch, but I tried.
Arya, if you decide you don't want to take up its offer, it didn't seem like it was particularly fond of being on the platform, and that platform does seem to have a way of scouring away magic.
Okay.
So perhaps returning the crystal to the dais will solve the problem.
Can we
Okay.
finish exploring first before we do that? I don't wanna fight a dragon. That sounds scary.
They're not that bad.
So brave. I love it so.
You say that now, but
I mean, it didn't even have a body.
Let's explore.
The
And then Arya will
entire-
give Soul a look that's like, yes, bitch. Yes. That's it. Like, we're on the same
walk
page.
in. Walk
Yes.
the fuck in. So what you would note is the entirety of the cave through your exploration is filled with salt. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of dead people. If Ronnie had to guesstimate, there's anywhere from 180 to 200 individuals that appear to have died in this space, been turned to salt and formed into crystals on the walls, some on the ceilings. It definitely looks like some people have gotten into some bad times here. You can also, over the course of this process, you can tell that some of these formations are more recent. Like the salt is more purely kind of like salt, whereas other parts of it appear to be kind of darkened by smoke and grime.
mm-hmm.
But the dragon of salt and smoke now resides inside of this crystal, and I believe someone said they're going to, after the exploration is done, place it back into the well space.
I'm definitely packing a couple of vials full of, like, this weird salt.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of like a fun, novel, arcane or culinary ingredient, depending on your,
No.
predilections.
It's extremely salty.
Yeah. No, absolutely great. How many vials are you capturing of it? How many doses, effectively?
Let's say 3.
Okay, so go ahead and
Think
put
how fast you can cure some meats with that.
3 shadow salts on your.
Shadow salts. Ooh. All right. My brain is figuring out how to do this. Okay.
Okay.
And then I want to put the the crystal in the
You
pool.
hold it aloft above where it was floating. You do not feel any force or anything take hold of it. Do you wish to relinquish it to see if it takes its place again?
Yeah.
It falls, it hits the ground.
Plink, plink. Oh. Is this doing anything weird to me while I'm in here?
No. It definitely feels annoyingly positive when you put your hands in the center of the space. Like there's this very just strange sensation of like, I would say that Arya would not be a fan of it. You're pretty sure that this feeling that you're feeling and kind of roiling up your arms is probably how Ronnie feels all the time.
What?
There's like a bliss. There's like a kind of just like strange level of happiness that Arya's never really dealt with.
She's just
Okay, this feels weird. Okay, well, Soul looks like just throwing it back in the well isn't working. We can leave it here for some, for some, I don't know, somebody to find, or we can take it and figure out what to do with it next.
John, on the way here, you said there were the gold panels. Was that pretty consistently the whole way here? So we probably could not have teleported out at any point.
Yeah, not the way you came. If you go back the other ways, there might be a way that's not paneled.
Well, if there's those dimensional locks between here and the lab, we could always take it back to the lab and drop it in the vat of Orvo.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
that
that's
kill
a-
a dragon?
I mean, it killed the giant floating crystal cube.
Good point. I guess we can try.
Could work. I mean, I think that us taking responsibility for it probably makes the most sense. Maybe if that Orvo thing doesn't work, maybe a bag of holding would be a way to keep it
Ooh.
safe.
There's also that little portal that we could throw it into.
I suspect that will do the same thing as just taking it out of this place entirely.
I mean, it won't be our problem though.
That is true.
Yeah.
Or the town's problem. That didn't look
Well,
like them.
you know, there
I just don't
are.
want there to be a dragon in town, okay?
Do you? Pick
No,
the, Sorry,
I-
do you pick
I
the stone back up?
hear you.
I didn't hear that part. Did you pick the
Yes.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
I was waiting for it. I just didn't hear it. Okay. You feel something assail your mind.
What about
And you
protection from evil and
Hear
good?
the voice. It doesn't matter. You hear the. It would have. That was. Yeah. It's a very low duration. You searched this whole place. Remember. When you pick it up, you hear the
Mhm.
voice command, "Take me from this place," and you feel this kind of energy assail your mind, but you resist it. You feel like you have it contained into this gem, and whatever force it and tried to exert upon you did not take hold this time. You would take 13 points of psychic damage, though, as a fail result or a success result.
Dang. It's a mad dragon.
Yeah. So you all see Arya like buckle. This does not bloody Arya, but it's it's like a third of her health. So you see her like kind of bending over, sickened, disturbed.
Are you okay?
The crystal just exerted some kind of psychic force. It's really, really hurt me.
She'll hold out a healing potion to Arya. Do you want one of these? I also have good berries. They don't do much though.
I think I'll be okay. Thank you. Let me make sure I don't. I think I may already have one in my. I have one potion of healing in my bag.
I have
No.
5, or I have
No,
4.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
No, I have
keep
plenty, really.
Keep it. I have a potion of healing. I'm just. It hurt me. It's able to hurt me. What? John, do I have an? Well, I don't know. I'll ask. Do I have an idea if this hurt me because I touched it with my bare hands? Do I have do I think like touching it?
Roll an Arcana roll.
Okay.
I know what
18.
you're trying. Yeah, I know what you're trying to ask. I'll answer it plainly. The creature inside was able to enact upon you a spell. It doesn't seem to have cared about its touch.
Okay.
Based on what the spell is and your knowledge of it, the spell Gias, you would know that it would have been able to target you as long as you're within 60 feet of it. and it would have charmed you for 30 days. It seems as an aftermath of its specific casting of it, it still
Sure.
caused you to take a psychic feedback because of that. That's more likely due
Okay.
to the creature and not the spell.
If this was able to enact magic on me, and it wasn't just because my bare skin touched it. I guess at this point, I've like when it hurt me, I would say that I would have dropped it onto the floor.
Okay, that's where it resides. Like, all right.
Just because it's like, ow, you're fucking
Oh yeah, makes sense.
shitting on me. Okay, and I dropped it, not even like on purpose, right? It was able to hurt me. It cast a spell on me. I'm scared of it. I mean, I don't know how we could possibly keep it from casting spells. And this spell that it tried to enact on me was to command me, to force me to carry out its service. That's frightening.
That's really mean. I don't like this dragon.
Maybe we
should
just
put
need to
in
leave
the
it here.
Orvo.
We
Or put it in the Orvo.
we could also try to go get Orvo to bring to it.
Oh, like a bucket? Do we have a bucket?
We
We don't.
had
We don't
something
have
to
a
move it
bucket.
around. We had something to move it last time from the vat to the floating cube, so
Oh, that's true.
The idea of like handling Orvo is like you can see Arya's face. It's like
any less pleasant than what just happened?
I mean, sword and I'm stuck between a sword and a hard place. So, um, I think it's trapped here because it can't teleport out.
Right.
And there's all those weird like creature things in the lab.
It's not the only way to get here.
Oh, it's not.
I
Okay.
presume not, since there were several
Other
other pathways.
pathways. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's bring the Orvo.
Okay, so when you return back to, this is going to be a very short narrative beat that's basically going to be determined by your response to it. You come back the way you came. You find the door. You open it. You go through the small hallway. During that time, are you holding the crystal in a visible way? Or is it tucked away in a bag?
I thought we left it here.
We're leaving it
you're
because
leaving
we're
it.
coming back to pour Orvo on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
We're
nothing-
getting a bucket.
Nothing crazy happens. You manage to get Orvo from the pools and transport it. In the 30 or so minutes it takes to transport the bucket, what you'll notice is the bright, vibrant green of it is obviously making it impossible for any of you to cast spells.
Right.
But as you walk and get to the end, it seems to lose its luster, its glow, and you can feel your magical energies kind of re-emboldened by the time you make it back to the Soulstone Cavern.
It's expiring.
And is it like completely dead by the time we get back?
Yeah. It's basically just a bucket of
Maybe-
green liquid.
Mm.
it almost looks like antifreeze, but like when it's glowing, it's kind of got like
Yeah.
like
I
its
want to
own
drink
luminescence.
it.
No.
Do you want to
Maybe
drink
we
it
should.
now, like inert?
Maybe we should bring.
Yeah, I don't want to
the-
drink it when it can kill my magic. I want to drink it when it looks like
It would kill a lot-
green,
it would kill a
like
lot more than
Hawaiian
that.
punch.
It would kill a
You
lot
know?
more than that.
Maybe we should bring it like meet it like halfway. Like bring the crystal like halfway to there, and
I
then
guess another option there
or just bring
was that
the
conveyor
crystal there.
belt, and it was treating boxes, correct? I wonder if those boxes managed to retain the quality.
No. I think this is no. This is getting too complicated. Let's take this crystal, dump it in the Orvo.
Okay, so you're taking the crystal into the facility, into the research lab.
That is what Aurea would like strive to do, unless
And we
somebody
wrap it in like
stopped
a
her.
hanky.
Let's wrap it in a hanky. Also, that's not going to do anything, but let's wrap it in a
I
hanky.
mean, it can't hurt
I just
not
don't
to
wanna
actually
see
touch
it.
it.
So you take the soul stone
And
you're
wrap it in a hanky.
wrapping it in a hanky. Are you putting it in a bag, or are you just holding on to it?
Put it in a bag.
Okay. So you walk through that hallway, the narrow hallway that leads out to the cavern, and there's a strange sensation of like vibration present in the hallway. You then, as you open up the door, hear very kind of loud squishing sounds as the activated like chassis where the squishers were located have opened, and you would see them rush to the door. I'm going to go ahead and move us to the map.
Oh,
so you
we
can
made the
see.
squishers.
They just want to
mad.
open the door, close the door. It's fine.
And they rush to. Hold on a second here. Grab. Squishers. Haste. 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 Haste.
Fucking janitors, we're trying to clean up a bigger problem.
You would see them rush towards the door and slam them shut before you can get to them. If you'd like to contest them in their strength to try and hold the doors closed, you can. But the smarter of you would realize that it appears that they are also working the door to lock it and seal it.
They're sealing us in here.
They're sealing you out of the research lab.
No, that's where the other stuff was.
Again, last ditch effort if you wish to try and open the or force your way through the door.
I don't think that makes sense.
What if we throw the crystal away from it?
The crystal falls to the ground again.
I
It seems to be
know.
quite a
but
durable piece of glass.
we just want to stop this guy. Come on, let us through.
For whatever reason, something caused them to activate when it entered into that long hallway, and they rushed and shut the door.
Is it the dragon? She's just like yelling through the door. She knows they can't talk. Well, I guess we can't put it in the Orvo. Maybe we should try one of the other directions. She'll sit
We
on
could
top
leave
of
it in
the
here.
boxes.
And then try the other directions.
You're testing my patience, you would hear in your head again, Arya. And Soul, I would like for you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I am going to use my favored because I really don't want to fail this one.
You did?
Oh, thank fuck.
You feel something assail your mind, Soul. You're going to take 13 points of psychic damage. But you feel something kind of like try and grasp a hold of your mind and say, "Take the gem from her." And you're like, ah! kind of drop to the ground afterwards as you say, "No," and then feedback.
Fucking.
I love how
dragons.
13 hit points on Arya and Soul is a very wide margin when it comes to the bar size.
I know, we're delicate little, like,
No,
divas.
no. You aren't comparatively. That was more than half. Soul is bleeding out the nose and
Soul
eyes.
is a super delicate diva.
Yeah, Soul is bleeding out of the nose and eyes.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm sorry, my TikTok brain
Soul-
rot is bleeding into this.
It's okay.
Soul, do you need a healing potion? I mean, you did make them.
No
She'll
words,
hold one
just
out.
crap.
Soul, oh my god, are you okay? You look fucked up.
Wasn't a very good healing potion either. I gotta work on that.
Oh.
You did make it.
Well,
Maybe
Probably
it
went
expired.
flat.
Do they
Yeah.
expired?
Must have gone flat.
must have gone flat.
The doors appear to be locked and sealed. After everything's all said and done, it looks like you still have access to the rest area, which is a small
Nice.
consolation. But unfortunately, it seems that the Squishers do their work to lock and seal these doors, barring you from retreating the way you came into the space. Well, that was already barred from you anyway. But
Oh wait, we can still get into the
no,
this
No.
one.
no, you can still
No.
see it because you have Explorer mode on.
Oh,
you
they
can go-
locked these doors.
That's right. Yeah. So you can go in here into like the rest area with the two beds and the couch. But the treasure you
The
didn't take,
treasure.
that's all in there. So just keep that very far away from actual, because you do not have any of that.
No,
We have a handful
no.
of bars.
We have
No, what I'm saying is
6,
the stuff that you
7,
didn't.
8, 9 mithril ingots.
Yeah, that's fair. Everything else is still locked up on the table.
At this point, I say just bury it under the fucking salt people and move on with our lives. We're very much done with this now.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate this dragon.
You would hear a voice in your head, Arya, as you
Oh
look back-
god.
as you're walking back. If you return me to that room, know that I am unbound. The next to come to find me, they will not be as mentally defended as you and yours seem to be. Or perhaps maybe one of yours isn't as strong. It's a 30-minute walk back. It'll have time to go ahead and cast a spell again. I'm going to go ahead and target Termaine. Termaine, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Do I have inspiration? I do not. 15.
That'll be a failure. You,
I mean, I have inspiration, but
do you want to give it to him?
yeah, sure. Fuck this dragon.
Roll again.
I believe in you.
18.
Success.
Yes.
Oh my
Thank you.
Saving
the
the
dumbest
Barlow
for
family
last.
legacy lives on.
You
Oh.
hear in your head, steal a gem from her! And then you kind of like resist, and then you feel like this kind of burgeoning kind of burst of psychic energy in the back of your head, Termaine. Take 15 points of psychic damage.
You too? What is up with you guys?
And then there's like an insanely like kind of harsh growl. If you place me back in that room and another finds me and I am able to move from there, I will take it as my first goal to find you.
Quiet, demon.
I will then, not talking to you, talking to her. I will then purge through your mind and the minds of your friends and everyone you've ever loved. I will watch you as I kill them in front of you and turn them to nothing more than salt and smoke. Your last chance. Take me from this place. chuck. Ding, 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 ding. Do you toss it back into the room, or do you take it?
I would say we bury it underneath the salt, like a pile of salt.
Okay. You're pretty sure that it won't care about visual effects to see who it needs to see, since it was able to
Sure.
pass out of your bag. So your
Right,
assumption is that if someone goes into that cave,
They're getting fucked.
there's a good chance that that happens. Yeah. But you bury it into the salt and you leave it there. Let's go ahead and move back to.
In the words of a great ancient philosopher, that was not a black dragon. That was a bitch dragon.
He actually might watch this too. That's a
Can
good
we
one.
leave some sort of warning marks on
You do
the
what you want.
entryway? I was talking to the others. Should we?
Yeah,
Probably
Okay,
could.
sassy.
Some sort of warning?
Do you have any material for writing or painting?
Yes.
I do,
I have ink.
Okay.
because I took the fucking scholar pack like a dumb bitch, but not that dumb. Apparently.
I have cartography tools.
So you're
Me
wanting
too. Oh no, I have
I have
Calligraphy.
ink,
calligraphers
ink
supplies.
pen, and
Parchment.
Parchment, yeah.
So you take the time to post a note on the door to the Soul Stone area. Write
Bitch
it
ass
up.
dragon in here,
Write it up.
and a
put-
crystal.
Put it
Take
in
over
there.
your mind and make your life a living
No,
hell.
I
Stay
just need
away.
to know what the note says. You guys are saying a lot of words. Obviously, you want it to be big and legible, or it'll be bypassed. So you're not going to be writing a shit ton of words.
Uh,
And then once you're done with that, it goes back to Choice City. You obviously are not allowed back into the research laboratory.
Oh, God.
You would have gone to the left. And I mentioned at that juncture, there is a second kind of smaller pathway, which is the Soulstone pathway, which you took, which would basically be kind of to the right, I guess, is what you did.
Mhm.
What I'm asking now is do you wish to go down the other side of that fork on the left, come back to the initial fork and go to the right, or go back to the initial kind of pathway and take a southeasterly route? Those are your options. You have 3 pathways that you can kind of maneuver out of here.
the southeasterly one was like damp, right?
Correct.
I mean, that sounds like a good change from salt arid.
Yeah.
Are we good
No,
with that
arid.
sentence, or do we need some kind of further warning about spooky mind whispering dragons?
That'll work.
Okay. I'll notate that.
Nothing ahead but salt and death and bitch dragons now.
Nothing ahead but salt and death. Save settings. Cool. So, let me just reiterate. There is a path that goes effectively northly. There's a path that kind of goes northwesterly. And then there's a path that goes southeasterly.
And we just took the one that is.
There's a path that goes easter or northwesterly. However, that path breaks into 2 paths. One was a smaller path which you took.
Oh,
And then
okay.
There's
okay,
still
okay.
one larger path that continues that way.
I don't want to pick this time because the last time I picked, I almost got us all gayest.
I don't want to pick.
You can't be gayest. But I mean, that's canon. Like, I don't think it works.
I mean, it is kind of true.
Right. And even if you get gayest, you're just gonna.
Do what you want.
Should have gotten the curse shard in the last campaign.
How about we take the other path? The one that was on the right.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we're taking the northern path. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this path, after about 20 or so minutes, you'll note that there are no gold panels. And you get a sensation as Arcanist that you could utilize a town portal scroll or other forms of teleportation here. This feels like a space where it would work. Since that's not eliciting any immediate kind of demands or anything, you continue on. And there's a sensation of strangeness on the ground, almost as if it were more soil than rock. You come to a point where you can see dead grass on the ground. It looks like this dead grass has been here for a long time, and many parts of it look like the blades have been trampled down by feet, kind of formulating a path up and ahead to where you're going. Is he? Yeah, he's in the center. Where is he? What the fuck? Did he get shoved in an extension? Sorry, bear with me here. My sorting here. No shot he got. He can't be in an extension. He doesn't go in an extension.
There must be a lot of people who come through this way. Maybe we'll find someone who knows what's going on around here?
So,
Maybe.
you come to a space where the world of the cavern opens up broadly. And you would see that you're in a very strange cavern that is... It's almost as if the sky in this space is nothing more than red stars. The more you look at them, you can see that these red stars are kind of oscillating about, maneuvering about, almost like flies or bugs. You enter into this space in between two large rocky structures, and ahead of you, you can see, in the dark, although strangely lit from above, a massive skeletal structure.
This looks familiar to Elizabeth the player.
I mean, in a way, this is familiar to me too as a player, in the sense of there was another soul well somewhere, and instead of a giant's like body, but I guess that's not real. I mean, super
R.I.P.
relevant.
Albert.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
Those who knew saluted.
Got real fucking agitated.
Keep agitating. It looks as though the structure, the bony structure ahead of you, is covered with chain. Chain that looks like it's rusted away quite a bit. You can see some of the red fireflies kind of maneuvering around inside of this space. Looks like there's a massive rusted sword broken in front of you, kind of creating a ramp that goes through the thing. You can't tell whether or not the sword was impaled through it or it was held on its chest and kind of, because of the weight of it, fell through the chain and the bone. It does look like there is a ridge at the end of the ramp of the sword, but what's up there, who can know? There are pathways out of this space. It looks as though there is a eastern path, a western path. Bear with me here. There we
Two
go.
western paths?
3 western paths, technically. And the south path you've already taken. One of the paths to the southwest looks like it's a covered up cavernous kind of structure, which is kind of here. And I believe you're familiar with that cave. it does look as though there are a number of pathways out of here. A pathway to the north, a pathway to the northeast, and a pathway to the east directly. There's also a pathway, that kind of looks like it goes south easterly.
Well, this is kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
And that, like, with it all grainy, it kind of looks like he's like playing a guitar.
Yeah. But yeah, the markers on there are not identical to where they come off of the map. Just
Yeah.
the kind of allusions to it.
Approximate.
Yeah. So the westerly, that cavern structure is actually one of the three on the left side of the map. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda want to go up this ramp.
Yeah, you jump onto the sword and kind of make your way up it. It's kind of got like a loud and undeniable, like it doesn't seem like no matter how you step on it, it's not gonna give it like a nice kind of metally kind of clang. And from below, you can see parts of the edges kind of like shuffling away as Ronnie's kind of moving up it. She's very light and kind of nimble moving up it, and very light also. So it doesn't look like there's a bunch of kind of debris of the rust coming off, but still it seems to be an undeniable kind of factor. As you get to the knuckles of the thing and kind of look down, you can see it looks as though what you would consider the killing blow appears to have been to the head of the individual. It looks like the chain coif of their helmet is kind of all around them. And there's some fireflies that reside inside of its head as well, creating kind of like a strange, eerie light. You probably noticed it when you look down. It almost looked like its eyes were kind of glowing up at you, the eye sockets.
That is spooky.
And red even, so yeah, even doubly spooky. You get past that and move across the pommel of the weapon, and you would see that there is a treasure chest and 2 bags seated next to them. They look insanely old, like very, very old, at least a century, if not more.
Someone must have camped up here, just left these. She'll see if she can like see what's in the bags and the chest.
Sure. The bags open to what appear to be like small little casings that look like they might have been like maggots that shed kind of like their exterior, or like cocoons of like small creatures. And they're all since dead. There's no living material here or any smell lingering whatsoever either. But inside the bags, you can kind of see like the remnant kind of dust and particulate of 100 years worth of food sitting out. The bags appear to have a marker on them, as if they were from a specific location, but it looks like it's quite faded. The only things that you can make out is there is a couple of letters that seem to have not faded from the symbol. The only 3 letters that you seem to be able to note are the first 3. ALB.
ALB. Okay. That's weird.
Make a
and
perception
the
check.
chest.
Make a perception check before you go for the chest.
Yeah. 15.
As you're kind of like hum-da-dum-da-dum, and you look over at the chest, you look to the left a little bit more, and right here in this corner, you see a bunch of debris kind of in the corner in the shape of a person. And you look up and you see a skeleton, like spinal column and head, like the skull rather, And it looks like there's a massive arrow that's been pierced through the skull and is kind of holding it there on the stone.
Very cool. Does it look recent?
No. No,
It's
no.
ancient.
Ancient.
Okay.
At least 100 years. It looks like the mess of the corner there, it looks like the individual present was wearing some sort of kind of simple militiaman armor. It looks like this person might have been like some sort of rebel or something based on its garb.
Yeah. She'll kind of look around, being like, there's some sort of trap, but it probably isn't because that doesn't look like a trap bolt or anything, right?
No, it looks like a big old great bow's arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't like that. Opens the chest.
You go for the chest and you test it, and it does appear to be locked.
And the chest is like solid.
Pretty solid, yeah. If you want to try to work at it and break it, you can.
The one thing that didn't get dry rot. Yeah, she'll try and see if she can pry it open. I
Okay.
don't think I have any. I don't think.
Go
I
ahead
have
and make an
crowbar.
athletics check. If you have a crowbar, you'd have advantage on the athletics check.
Don't think I do. Just double checking though.
Let me know if you need help.
I got soap. No, I don't. Okay, he said athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
As you
Nope.
struggle with the 5 you got, you realize that the only thing that you could think to kind of that would help you in the breaking of this would be gravity. Perhaps your brother, but if you wanted to do it on your own, you could drop it off of the cliff down to the ground below, and that might do something to help you.
Yeah. When in doubt, call for your sibling. She'll kind of go up here and she'll go to like halfway down the sword and yell for Tremaine.
Okay.
There's a chest up here and I can't get it.
Say that 3 more times, and you'll
Okay.
understand the effect that you just kind of created in this space.
Yeah, I know.
Resonance. And
Yeah.
it basically fills out the entirety of the cavern.
Yeah.
What you all at the ground level notice is that the buzz of the red lights all shift to form an almost sun-like kind of gathering or swarm directly above Ronnie's head.
Oh, fuck. Ronnie!
You'd also notice that the ones
Eva.
inside of the thing are kind of flowing up to that swarm of bugs.
I mean, as soon as I notice, like, Ronnie is starting to attract a swarm of things, I would start to kind of, like, rush forward the way that she went.
Okay.
Looking back at her brother like, brother, hello?
I'm here.
Do you not see your sister is getting swarmed by these things?
Oh, they're
So
not
can I-
swarming her. They're above her. So, like, the cavern ceiling's probably about 80 feet high. They're all kind of funneling into, like, a disc or orb above her. Yeah.
She
still-
looks
I
up
mean-
at it and like,
Ren.
I'm sorry.
Come back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Come
Yeah.
back.
She'll start like slowly making her way down the sword. Are they still hovering?
Yeah, they're kind of, like, maneuvering around above you. They don't seem to kind of, like, come for you or anything.
So then, once Tremaine makes his way up to his sister, he would put up his shield above them both and start walking back.
Okay.
I don't think they like the loud noises. But there is a chest up there if you want to go open it.
Hmm. Whatever.
They still maintain like their position above Ronnie, where she yelled, not where she moves.
Oh, okay.
Shh. Your inside voice.
Okay.
Okay, there's all these routes out.
While that's happening, Tom, they're not going up for the treasure chest, right? If that's the case, Tom, go ahead and roll me a d20. Just a d20.
Uh-oh.
She will tell Soul.
5.
Thank you. Random encounter, sorry.
Yeah,
Is what I was asking for. 5's fine.
No, we roll a 20 and then a 1.
Right.
It's going to be really strange him being in 2 games at once.
I know. That would be hilarious, though.
So, it doesn't appear that they are kind of moving away from that space. They kind of just hover above it. When you kind of regroup back down towards the bottom of the blade, I believe Arya said there's so many routes out of this blade.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Yeah, I was just making sure we're all on the same page.
Oh, okay. I thought some funky was happening.
No. The random encounter was it would have been the point if somebody rolled
Yeah.
higher on a d20, but it didn't happen. So
But you asked
Okay.
Tom, so.
yeah,
Well,
So I guess which way do we go? I don't think the bugs will let us get to the chest anymore.
where's the chest?
Oh, it was at the top of the sword. She'll point up there past the bugs.
when you kind of say that, because I assume the way you just said it was kind of indicative of Ronnie's pluckiness and her inability to.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure I was reading that right. They do
Oh
start.
no, you got it.
They do start kind of like it almost looks like there's like an orb of them, and then there's like a like a pseudopod or a pool of them that kind of moves across the space, and then slowly it kind of pulls it all in to like form the globe directly over your head again.
I didn't say it that loud.
When
She
you got
said
it-
loudly.
She says loudly up to them, and again it looks like they're just kind of hanging out above you. If you'd like, you can make a nature roll.
Yeah. $11.
You're not sure that the bugs are reacting to you. You're pretty sure that they're reacting to the reverberation directly above you.
May I also make a nature roll?
You can. Maybe you'll get more than that. No, you didn't.
Get less. I get less.
You don't even know what's. Yeah, you're still thinking they're all
No,
going to
what's
storm down and murder her.
Yeah, let's shield this up.
I didn't
And
have
then-
advantage, so
11.
Tremaine would whisper to Arya, who's nearby, Mom always used to yell at her to stop talking so loud.
Oh my god. Arya will kind of look at Tremaine like,
Out of nowhere, just pulls a fucking fan out, just like.
Shane, for
Where'd you get
what?
that?
Even.
Oh my god.
It seems that the two of you, that would be Soul and Ronnie, are starting to realize that they're not coming down. They're kind of like holding to the ceiling in that area where the reverberation happens.
Mhm.
At its kind of peak.
I don't know, part of me feels, this is out loud, like this is like an important and meaningful place, and part of me is just like, we need to get moving and go on to the next place.
Well, I guess we could check out parts of the skeleton.
Okay.
Oh
wait, the chest.
Cage, and there's his head. It looked hollow.
Do you want to take the time to search the entirety of the skeleton and also the chest? We'll just go.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
somebody had the inkling that we could drop the chest
Yeah, that
to
was
break it
Ronnie.
open.
Ronnie thought about that. Yeah.
Ronnie, do you say that to anybody?
Yeah, she'll say it's hard to open, but if we drop it off a cliff or something, or pry it open,
Okay.
someone stronger than Ronnie would probably be able to do it. Looks at Termaine.
Jermaine, let's go up there and knock it down.
Alrighty.
See if we can't break it open.
Sure. You come.
So I would go with Jermaine up there.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check. There's no help possible on this, so it's only one individual possible to kind of try and crack it.
26.
Okay. So with that, you do manage to get a good hold on the lock and break it. It's a natural 20, so then
It is.
nothing on the interior will have been broken. Inside,
Ooh.
you see a dust-covered small little kind of pallet with 8 stoppered vials in them. It looks like the seal marker on them, because you're from Jernaris, most of you would recognize it, is the Holy Church of Jernaris. And so you would recognize these as potions of healing. And it appears that there's a small slip of paper inside, which is kind of, upon touching it, crumbles in your hand, leaving
hell.
nothing more than the top portion that says, "Dearest Alberic,"
ALB.
and then comma, and that's it.
Wait, why was ALB important?
It was the sign on the bags.
Oh. How many potions?
8.
8 potions of healing. Not bad. I don't want to be in charge of these potions. Should we hand them to Soul?
Why don't you cut out the middle person and just give a couple to me straight away?
Oh. Okay, take a couple.
I do.
I guess I'll take a couple. So that's 2 for you
Mm-hmm.
and 2 for me.
Yep. And so a note too: the Holy Church of Jernaris is a church of the Triumvirate. It is not a church that worships one of the 3 deities more so than the
Oh.
other.
Okay. That's interesting to Arya, who
The main cathedral for the Holy Church in this region is actually up on Mount Balthanir.
Hmm.
It is a part of the Hystric Academy, the old Hystric Academy.
Okay. I will try to hand Soul. Wait, 8 minus 4.
Honestly, if you want to do it even
4.
Stevens, you could just get everybody 2. But if
Oh,
you
it's
wanna,
even Stevens. You're right.
If you want to load out the Paladin with more, you could go 4 on the Paladin, 2 on the other person who dies a lot, which would be Ronnie, and then the 2 casters can take 1.
I'm fine. 2 apiece.
2
I
for
also
Yeah.
have
2
lay on
apiece is
hands,
fair.
so that gives me some added
You're
healing.
muted, Elizabeth. What'd you say?
I still have 3 anyways.
Yeah. So if you want to just disseminate yours
Okay.
to
Two,
Termaine,
2,
that's
and
fine.
2.
That would be easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
Okay,
them. Thank you.
so he's taking 4, 2, and 2.
Yep. And then you still have your 3.
Ronnie 0.
That works.
Easy peasy.
Standing here on the blade, kind of on the cliff area, it looks like to the west, it looks like there are patches kind of on the walls and on like a weird small cliff facade on the western side. Patches of these red flowers kind of all like about. It looks like the The northern of the two paths that you can see on the western side is more populated with red flowers than the others. There's also the pathway that leads north, and basically, like, kind of up here, you can see more patches of flowers as well. But it also looks like there's a reddish liquid that has slowly kind of descended down the rocks a bit from up there. There's also a bit of a buzzing sound kind of all throughout the space. And when you were up by the treasure chest at the top, it was more noticeable than the kind of just background white noise that was happening in other spots throughout this cavern. And like I was saying too, the ground does look like it has grass on it. Oh, what just happened?
Sorry, I turned my video off.
Oh, no, sorry, my brain did a dumb. I thought it dropped out. I miscounted.
What?
when you switched, it did a flash on my right side, and when I looked over at my monitor,
okay.
I forgot I only had 4 players in this game.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
sorry.
"Who dropped?"
I was just trying to go get a treat.
Go get your drink. I'm sorry.
I just want a drink.
So, yeah, and then the passage here, which would be the southeasterly kind of way, there's a bit of a greenish grime, and the grass over there looks like it's actually alive. Whereas the grass everywhere else is kind of like this dry, covered with footprints everywhere, like people have walked around here before. Your own footprints are added to that. And you can definitely see that a path has been formed in the dead grass that may not have been there prior. Everything in the weird bug light, though, it almost makes the kind of what you assume would be kind of like a dry kind of orange or like, beige color kind of appear a strange green. The light is not glowing red, despite the creatures that are creating the light, they appear to be glowing red. But yeah, those are the pathway options that you have. So it's left, north, or up, right, or right.
What if we go east?
West is an option.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any option or anything that they would prefer?
I have no preference.
Okay, so we're
Upper
going
west.
west, Elizabeth, and you're the one kind of driving, it sounds like, and I love that when we have a driver. Are you taking the northwestern path, the southwestern path, or the cavern structure that appears to be going west?
Oh god.
The top one.
Okay. So you pass by some red flowers, and you continue into a tunnelway from this point that seems to continue for some time. The red flowers appear to be dead. Despite their being dead to your eyes, they have not really wilted away. The best way I can kind of describe it is if you're like a flowery type person, and like I know some girlies try to like keep their flowers longer. They'll hang them upside down from like a hanger or whatever, and then they'll like
Dried flowers.
dried flowers. They absolutely look like dried flowers, but they look like they have maintained their flower shapes immaculately.
Oh, so they've been soaked in glycerin instead. The stems have been soaked
Yeah,
in glycerin. Like
I
those
would say
forever
that's-
flowers that people buy nowadays.
Yeah, that's basically the effect, but you're pretty
Yeah.
sure that it's definitely a happenstance of the nature of the flowers and not so much a.
I mean, there could just be a high quantity of glycerin in the soil. I don't know.
I mean, perhaps.
It's the Helma. Sounds hellish to me.
At the end of these flowers, doing just past that, there are 3 flowers that look like they are different than all of the kind of dried, dead flowers. And the flowers look like their petals are made out of meat.
Made out of what?
Meat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not normal.
Don't eat it.
That's like, oh, that's why they call it the Hellmaw.
Yeah.
Well,
Ronnie
that's-
will kind of squat down and kind of doodle the meat flour in her journal.
Okay. And if you'd like, you can make a nature roll.
Yeah. $12.
You're not familiar with these flowers, but yeah, their petals definitely look like they are made out of like meat. Like I mean, like muscle
Prosciutto.
and prosciutto tissue. Yeah, I think you know what they
Oh,
are out
you
of
just saw
character.
my wig head.
I think you know what they are out of character, but I don't.
Oh, I
think you know
do.
what they are.
Yeah, I know what they are.
Okay, sure. They
I've known what they are.
they
You said red
smell-
flowers, and I went, yeah.
No, the other ones they do not look like they are the same. These are very different. There are two different.
But
types
I
of
also
flowers.
know what those are because
Yeah.
you've brought those up before.
Yeah, you almost died to them.
Yeah, but
Terminator.
Ronnie sees pretty flowers, and what do I do in Elden Ring?
Pick them. So, do you want to pick the ones that are alive, or do you want to pick the ones that are not?
She'll pick one of each.
Okay. So the meaty one's fine. You're able to pick it and kind of like take care to put it away. But as you're trying to put the other one away, you realize that it is a very delicate game and it'll actually fall apart in the process. It's nothing more than flower dust. And
Yeah.
the other one is a, go ahead and write this in your sheet, a cyst bloom.
Yep.
Okay. If you move beyond that space, your tunnel comes to a point where it exits out into a cavity. It looks like there's a bridge ahead of you that leads about 10 feet to another hole in a wall. Looking out of this cavity, it looks like there's about a 20-foot drop down to what appears to be another one of these spindly bridges, and you realize that you're inside some sort of kind of like crevasse that goes up farther than your dark vision will allow and goes down farther than your dark vision will allow. But the bridge that's underneath you, strangely, appears to go cross with yours. So yours are connected against these walls, and then the ravine kind of does this strange turn, and it looks like it's connected at a different point deeper down.
Right.
But you're pretty sure you could safely climb out and get onto that bridge if you wanted to change pathways.
We're talking about Ranny here, and even though I know I took the climbing feat,
It would be the quickest way to get to level 4. I'm not alive, mind you, but...
right. But I also want to stay on level 3 because
Level
there
2.
was that place that the kitty cat told me about.
Okay. So
I
then
just don't know where exactly it is.
We're going to continue walking on this passageway.
Yes.
Perfect. You come to a point where the tunnel itself comes to a terminus and opens into a space that has kind of a rush of water sounding through it. But as you kind of pay attention, you realize that the sound isn't water at all. It sounds like sand. Directly ahead of you, you can see that there's kind of a round cliff-like structure with a piercing through it, and there's sand kind of dropping inside and around the opening. And it seems to be falling into whatever is beyond that opening. The tunnel you exited out of to get into this space, it looks like there is a pair of tunnels just like the one you are coming out of. One directly south and one kind of opposite, almost as if like you got these, you're coming in this way, there's one down and then there's one that way, if that makes sense. And I'm going to move you to the map and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Let me make sure that the lighting on this bad boy is correct.
It'd be
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Bear with. I'm assuming that you're going to be seeing pitch black.
Yes.
Great.
Just like it was meant to happen. Oh, there's a little thing.
So, as you can see on the kind of cliff there's like the sand that's coming down from above. The ceiling above you, after coming out of the tunnel, kind of on the right there, is definitely outside of your dark vision, unless you can see past 150 in dark vision. But a lot of the sand is just kind of descending down. And like I was saying here, there's like a pathway here, and another pathway here that lead south, but in kind of three kind of different directions.
Okay. And they all look like they're going down.
Yeah, so basically this one would go due south, and then this one would go kind of southwesterly.
But I mean, like, down to, like, towards level 4.
No. Sorry, they
Oh.
they look like they maintain the same kind of level.
Oh, okay.
You're on level 2. Level 4, as a joke, was you'd be falling a lot farther. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I thought that we were on level 3 this whole time.
No, layer 0 is layer 0, right?
Oh, okay.
But the layer that you started on, the top layer, is layer 1, and that's where you were at. Layer 0 would be kind of outside.
Okay,
So you're on the second layer.
right. Okay. Let's go east again.
You can go north as well. There's a passage between the kind of cliff structure here that looks like it goes like where the sand is going.
I don't want to go where the sand is going. Because that means I'd probably get sand in my shoes.
That is a very novel concern.
But you said that there's a path this way, right?
That's right. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to interject? Elizabeth is dragging Elizabeth's just dragging everybody around the dungeon.
No, it's good.
Oh no, you dragged us to here. It's your fucking fault, Elizabeth.
It's your turn this week.
Yay! At my most chaotic.
So, do you wish to go north into the sand passageway, or do you wish to go
No, I told you.
south
Wait,
or
before-
southwest? Go ahead.
Before we move on, I just wanted to. I don't know if this makes any difference, but I do have 120 dark vision.
Yeah, you still can't see above you. It's definitely
Okay.
beyond your peak.
Okay.
I will go ahead and give you your dark vision at your pleasure, though, if that's what you're trying to get me to do.
I don't know. Just okay. Cool.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a descent down, and it kind of goes down to some sandy kind of ravine or kind of canyon below.
And this is sand, not juice.
Sand. Yeah, that seems to be moving like water, strangely, and falling from above.
Oh god, this doesn't seem good.
That's why I want to go south.
That's why I want to go into it. Oh,
No, I said I don't want to because that sounds like I'm gonna get sand in my shoe.
So
Wanna go this
southwest,
way.
you said?
Yeah, this way.
As you make your way into that tunnel and you cross some time, it comes to a point nearly identical to the ravine that you kind of walked through. About a 10-foot expanse to the other side of this like cleft in the walls. And down beneath that, there is another bridge that runs exactly skew with yours. It's very strange that this would happen twice.
That is weird.
It looks natural. By every stretch of the imagination, it seems natural. But it looks like you've got two in an almost symmetrical kind of fashion, it seems to be a bit awkward.
Mm.
You can descend down onto the next bridge. Again, it's not a huge descent. You wouldn't be changing layers at that point, or you could continue onward.
I'm thinking keep on keeping on.
Okay. Bear with me here.
And then
while I
we come back to the same cavern.
and it's Mario. I need to move to the. I believe we are entering into the western extension. Yep. Okay. So when you come to the terminus of this tunnel, you're kind of surprised to see this very strange, like, break in the stone. And immediately after this kind of rupturing kind of effect, you see what looks like cobblestone. Like a road with a sidewalk partition that appears to be elevated about 10 feet up from that. I'm going to move you onto the map. As you see this space, whatever it is to the right of you upon exiting appears to be some sort of house. And directly ahead of you, on the street that you're about to start walking on, there is a lamppost. The lamppost
What?
is
A
still
lamppost.
glowing.
Oh,
That's
we're
so
going to
weird.
Narnia, guys. Is there a fawn underneath the lamppost?
There is not.
Damn. Thought we were going to Narnia.
Is this Christianity?
Directly ahead, too, you see there's a building on the left. There's kind of a riser on the left side that looks like it goes up to kind of a walk area. The rock behind you and the cavern structure behind you, it almost looks like it was lodged into this town that you're walking into. Like it fell into place, or potentially the offset of that, this fell down into this space. One of those two things happened. Either the stone fell onto it, or it fell into the stone. And based on what you know about the Helma, some of you might be guessing this might be a part of Cardend from years past.
Oh, I know
There are-
exactly what town of part
No,
of Garden we got into.
I know
It's
exactly
the
where we're at.
jerks.
There is a shit ton of bones that appear to have been laid out on the ground at the foot of a statue up ahead. If you maneuver around to take a look at the statue in the lamplight, you would see that the statue is of a tabaxi man holding a book, and he appears to be very lordly. The plinth that he is standing on, at the bottom of it says, Lord Lycoi, Keeper of the Peace, Servant of the Denisotvan.
Keeper of the peace, my ass.
Does he look like the ghost cat?
He does not look identical to the ghost cat, but he has similar
Lord
reason
like
it is-
Corey.
Hey, this almost looks like the ghost cat that I talked to.
Mm.
And its name is Lycoi, just like the manor. Or the keep.
So when reading the plinth and seeing the, Denisotvan part, we'll start grumbling.
I'd like for everyone to make a perception check.
Alright.
Let's get a good roll this.
I think Shisha just walked
Nope.
away, but...
Okay.
20!
Ronnie,
Not a
nice.
natural, but...
When you step into this position and kind of stop for a second, you smell and then look up into the darkness and can see that the chimneys of these buildings are all billowing smoke, as if the fireplaces inside are being utilized.
Hmm. I don't think anyone left. Or I think there's people here. Are like the windows all drawn and everything?
Strangely, the windows appear to all have shutters on them.
Okay, and they're all closed.
Correct.
Hmm. And do these bones look fresh, or do they look like they've been there for a minute?
Make a medicine roll.
I can. Might be better for me.
Soul
can-
walks
can
over.
Can we both
See,
make
shit.
one?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
should. Wow,
You both look at each other, and
these
yeah,
sure are bones.
they definitely look like they're fresh. The one thing that the both of you would recognize is there are a couple of them that look like they still have sinew on them, and that's kind of
Do they look like human bones? or
It's so
humanoid
obvious that even with our
bones?
shit rolls, we can tell.
with those shit rolls. You think so? Yeah.
Ooh.
I'd say a baseline of healing a person's 10. So yeah, there's definitely human bones amidst them, but they're not all human bones.
Mm. We should probably just stick together.
I think that's a good
Safer
idea.
in numbers.
The bone collector might be interested.
Well, the bone collector is getting a snack, so.
Okay. From this post here, you're kind of looking around. It does look like the road continues onwards and kind of takes like an easterly route. This building on the kind of southern side here, this one here, looks like it has a pathway that leads out of the town to the southwest. And lastly, if you kind of head to the northern portion of this town, you would notice that there are a couple of routes that leave out of this place direct, kind of northeasterly. As you're investigating about, though, are you trying to maintain a level of quiet, or are you just kind of walking around like you own the place? Stealth? Okay, so I'd like
Yeah.
for all three of you to go ahead, or all four of you, if she goes back, to go ahead and make a stealth roll.
26 with a nat 20.
I rolled the wrong skill, but I did definitely roll a 1.
So it would seem that the elves are able to kind of keep you in check, and I just needed half or more to roll successes, which we nailed. So you're able to keep quiet, and there are no disturbances from anything. You don't seem to alert anybody present here, if there is anybody to alert anyways. Yeah. Do you wish to try and enter into any of these buildings, or are you just trying to move past it and kind of get through the space to whatever's next?
I think
There are people that have been stuck
move
down
past them.
Moving past them.
Yeah.
Are you following the
Alright,
road?
do you want any of these bones?
I'm sorry, I'm just coming back. Should I roll a stealth check?
More than half, or at least half the team got it, so we're fine.
Oh, okay.
It was a group stealth check.
Yeah. Did you want any bones, though?
Do you want some bones?
I would love a bone.
There's a shit ton of them.
I'll take a nice juicy
Piping
one.
hot, fresh.
We'll take one femur. That's fine. I would say that with your current carrying capacity with the mithril, that you're probably not going to be carrying too much more than you probably want to.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. Your carrying capacities are currently over, or close to over.
I mean, for me, carrying capacity, like, there's like a mechanical aspect, and then there's like, I don't want to carry things.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But you are carrying the mithril. So.
I know.
She's
So
carrying one.
Okay. She's carrying one. That's fine.
One.
but I'm also carrying shadow salts. Ugh, carrying too much stuff.
At least you're
So
not
they're
carrying
not-
that crystal anymore.
I was about to say
I'm not
too
carrying that
bad.
crystal.
Too bad
That's
you're
true.
not carrying that crystal. Okay, so if you take
Why
the,
wouldn't you let me kill the shadow dragon, John?
if you take the western path, the road, you'll see that it comes around and it looks like there is kind of a a riser, and yeah, it's very poorly done. So just apologize, but it looks like there's a bit of a riser, like stone sediment that's kind of layered down onto the space and kind of clung to a lot of different portions of it. If you've ever had kind of like calcification buildup or seen like the interior of like damp caves, that's basically just kind of sloshed down onto the space. But it looks like there's a walkable ramp that goes up and would lead you beyond that point to what appears to be some sort of um kind of access point. That looks like a hole in the ground. And then you could go north if you'd like, kind of taking the pathways up. Looks like there's a passageway this way.
Mhm.
Backtracking, there's other ways to go as well.
Oh,
But you're still not going into any of these buildings. You're not trying to mess with anybody present here, right?
I don't think we want to.
Okay.
I don't think so. Do we?
So I guess my question would be, do you wish to go due north, northeast, or east from this kind of vantage?
Is this east?
Or not
No,
east, west,
this
west.
is
I meant west. West.
Oh.
Wait,
I said
west.
west.
Is this west?
East. Yeah.
Yeah, west is left. Yep.
That's towards where a hole is.
Yeah, it looks like an access of some sort.
Mm,
Any access is the goal. Access.
Is it jail?
what?
Wah, wah,
We're all
wah.
working on a singular brain cell.
For sure.
It's just passing it around.
Mom, it's my turn. I'm brain cell.
Let's keep going west.
Let's go west.
Okay.
Go west.
Bear
like
with
there's,
me for a second. I need to go potty. I'll be right back. Just take a second, talk amongst yourselves. I
Let's
will.
break into a house.
It's
Great.
giving manifest destiny.
If they've been down here that long, they would surely be excited to see new people.
I'm pretty sure they're vampires.
As we all know, insular communities are usually very happy to have people just bulldoze into their houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure. Unless Arya wants a vampire partner. We never did get Arya's sexuality in the chat.
Well, okay. It's
It's
the whole
okay
thing.
if it's okay if it's undecided too.
No. Well, Arya. So I have this vision of Arya having like, and this never like panned out. I don't know if this was on purpose from John or if like John cockblocking me, but I just like I wanted Arya to have two boyfriends that were boyfriends.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
But then it never really panned out. So I don't know if that's on purpose from John or if it's just he
I
didn't,
don't
like,
think it is.
I don't think so.
He apparently assumed that Ronnie was straight, so
That's disgusting.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
just figuring out life. She does not
I
need
mean,
to be
who's
under these constraints.
great
Termaine.
in a D&D story? Is Tremaine straight?
You're muted.
Andy, you're muted.
No!
He's
So
dwarf curious though.
dwarf curious. That is hot. I love that.
Misses someone.
Oh, Miss. Oh, not Mrs. like MRS.
Hilda.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
Hilda.
what
Oh,
that's what
that's
he's hoping
strange.
happens, that it becomes MRS. But
Oh, okay. That is like queer baiting. Oh, I'm dwarf
What?
curious.
What?
I'm dwarf curious, and it's just like a lady dwarf. Okay.
But
He
Okay.
wasn't crushing on not Drumgar. Yes, Drumgar. No. God damn it. Oh God, what is his name?
Her husband?
No, I don't have enough brain
He
cells.
dead.
Was there another
Joe,
dwarf?
yeah, Joe's old character.
Oh. Oh, well, that's a character that's not in this story.
Well, he showed up.
In this story?
Yeah, he was the leader guy.
Oh, okay.
Did I hallucinate that?
No, the blaze hatchet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's somebody's old
Yeah,
character?
that was Joe's character. He was really
Yep.
cool.
Interesting.
But Joe got too busy.
Very
working.
interesting.
Starts with a B.
Bulgar Blaze Hatchet.
Nah, there it is. Bulgar. That's why I got Drumgar confused. But that's Radajon's character in, or not Radajon. God damn it! I don't have a
It's
fucking
Joe's
brain cell
character,
today.
right?
No, Drumgar is the
Oh, that's Zach
Zach
F, right?
F's Tuesday
Mm.
character,
The
who is
dwarf,
also
the
a
shield
dwarf.
dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a cool shield. Sorry, I had to public speak today for an hour and a half.
Oh no.
Was it about what?
It
DEI?
was about embroidery, so it
Oh.
wasn't bad, but
Fun.
yeah, I haven't done public speaking for a minute.
Okay,
That's awesome.
I am back.
Oh,
It went
Sorry.
very
back.
well. There were like
I heard
15
everything.
people.
Yay!
I am not cock blocking you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like that important to my character and story. But it's just like in my mind
No
occasionally.
worries. We haven't actually gone back to your hometown to talk to people. And
Right.
Right. So, anyways, the access point at the top of this little hill of sludge, you would note that it appears to be a very old style sewer access that seems to have, for whatever reason, surfaced at the top of this, almost as if this stuff kind of either pooled around it or the structure underneath lifted up to rise up out of the sludge. The sewer access door is open, but there does appear to be a mark on the inside of the lid that's kind of up. And when I say old sewer access, we think of sewer access, big manhole cover. These old sewer accesses look like they're on hinges and would have been like kind of lifted up to kind of allow for access that way.
Yeah.
So you can
Are
descend.
there like smells coming from it, or is it just like? Does it smell like a sewer?
It smells musky, but it doesn't smell bad.
It's not giving active sewer.
That's fair to say.
I guess we could go in.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. When you get to the bottom, you realize that you are inside of a worked metal pipe. The ground is not slick. There's like a certain level of kind of rigidity to it, and it's kind of like there's a buildup of something kind of on the bottom that allows for like a steady foothold. And it looks as though this tunnelway leads to the west. And then kind of once you get to a certain point, immediately takes a hard right. At that point, it looks like it goes to a walk directly on that same path, but then there's a left path, and you can hear what sounds like the burbling of water underneath you in this kind of elbow joint that you're moving into. And from this point, you can continue following the pipe that you're on, or you can shift off the pipe that you're on and go left. Looking out to the left, it looks as though there's an exit into a cave. Looking north on the tunnel path, it doesn't look like there's any exit that you can see immediately.
It's a dead end.
It looks like it continues on north, like you can keep walking on this in this tunnel all the live long day if you wanted to, but honestly.
okay.
If you wanted to get out of the tunnel and check something a bit more current, it would be kind of on this pathway to the west, to the left. Staying in the tunnel or trying to get out of the tunnel? That's the question.
I say stay in it.
You're going to continue north?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Sick.
Perfect.
1.
You get to the end point of this tunnelway. At the very end of this tunnel, there is a dead end. The dead end appears to be a seal cap. So basically, someone has terminated the tunnel. It's kind of like a cap end. But it looks like there is a kind of structure on the bottom that allows for water to flow out that has kind of sealed over with kind of a strange like buildup of what looks like rock now. When you get to that point and look down into it, it very much looks like there is something encased in that material. And Ronnie, you were the one leading here, so this will be strangely to you upon looking. Bear with me here. Destined. Strangely, it looks as though it is a pair of leather boots.
And they're just on their own.
They're kind of like encased inside of the weirdness. So they're really dirty looking, and they're kind of like locked in like this calcification, almost as if like they slammed into like the drainage port, and like water kind of flooded around them, and then over time like this buildup kind of locked them in place. One of them's kind of like toe up, and you can kind of see the tongue of it, and then the other one is kind of like sideways, so you can kind of like see that the interior of the boot is like you could put your foot into it if you wanted to, but then it would just be surrounded by mud and stuck in there.
Right.
Mm.
Guess I could pull them out.
Okay.
So
You take
gonna
some
be a
time to
mimic.
chisel them free, and upon doing so, you recognize the make. It very much looks like these are boots that would be very, very clearly made in like an enclave like your own. These are boots that would be worn by scouts, sentinels. You're very familiar with this kind of craftsmanship, but they definitely look like they could use a good wash. You heard the tinkling of water, or like the burbling of water back the way you came, but if you pull the boots, you have a pair of muddy, elvish boots.
Well, these could be useful. I need to clean them first, though.
Okay. If you head back, I think this is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. You head back. When you take that turn that we mentioned, bear with me here, I'm going to move you onto the right map. Oh god, it's everything.
Yep.
Ooh.
And so, oh, okay, fixed.
Stop looking. So this is the tunnel, and you're walking on it, and you can see up ahead that there's an exit. It also looks like there's another pipe, and it's kind of flooding water out into a pile. So it looks like there's some contraptions here, and you can hear the purring of a machine here as you step out, Arya. Inside of this space, it looks like there's kind of like a clustered kind of workspace. You see what looks like a door to the southwest, and that door is kind of about chest high, or a little lower than chest high, to about head high. There's like a hole in the door with bars, so you can see through it.
Okay.
And it looks like the locking mechanism is on this side of the door. But yeah, there's a nice kind of flow of this kind of brackish-looking water, and then this machine seems to be doing what it's doing, whatever that might be.
Feels like we're in Super Mario. Boop 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 boop.
Right, it's like a
Mhm.
pipe dream.
And now you're in layer 4. No, layer 4 is the joke for the night, I guess.
Are you guys just gonna stay in the pipe, or?
No, definitely not. But I don't want to stand in that.
Oh,
pipe
you're
either,
getting in the
though.
water.
Wait, no. What? I thought it's here.
I know you were in there.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Soul, since you're the first to move towards the door, closer to the door, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh no, what have I done? 14.
You hear voices coming from beyond the door. With a 14, you can't tell where or how many, but you know it's more than one, and probably less than 100.
Between 2 and 100.
2 and 99, okay?
Right, between 2 and 99.
I think there are people ahead.
Shall we sneak?
So we should be quiet.
Oh yeah.
Probably a good plan.
You guys go ahead.
Should we roll stealth check?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Let's get stealthy.
Don't be mad, guys.
Stealth check time. Oh! Oh no!
Oh, I know. So like seeing Arya bumble about.
Termaine, you kind of
strange
look at the
relieved.
door. You're like looking at the door, like scared, and then Ronnie comes over to the door and kind of like opens the door, and you kind of hear like a sound as the door is being opened, and you all
Yeah.
kind of look at each other, and you hear kind of like a, oh, what was that noise? Come from like.
Why was
somewhere.
God.
I the problem. I rolled the highest.
Yeah, it was still too low. I want to make sure that
Wow.
like the response to the creaking sound from everybody else was like, "What the fuck? You're being too loud!" As everyone's just like yelling at you and berating you.
Alright,
And
said,
just being
stop being
louder.
so loud!
I was hoping it would come
Oh,
naturally,
classic
but
Ronnie.
it didn't happen. It's like target the best of them. See if the others will roleplay stupid.
She looks back and whispers, "Sorry."
Aww.
So, if you stay there at the door, are you holding position?
I guess.
You see a very handsome-looking elf appear out of the shadows, kind of from this kind of southern side.
Oh.
Looks
He
at
is
you
handsome.
and goes, "Hi, what are you lot doing here?" As he kind of
Oh,
reaches
you
for,
don't-
Oh, we're kind of
Sounds
lost.
handsome.
reaches for his belt,
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
like something
we're
on his hip.
We're exploring and we got kind of
Oh.
lost.
Yeah. Well, fuck off.
Wow.
Oh.
Salty.
Not as salty as that room we were.
So there's not a way out that way?
Are you Lord sanctioned?
Well, yes, we
Yeah.
all.
Who's your lord?
Owen?
Hasn't paid enough
Tremaire?
gratuity. Fuck off. Or we'll take it from your corpses.
You fuck off. No, you.
Are you saying this in character? Or are you just doing?
Yes.
You say you fuck off?
Yes.
What? You what? You're not
Yeah,
fucking
I-
serious, he says as he pulls some weird device from his belt and kind of points it at you.
What's it look like?
And
Are
it looks
you
like a
Lord?
gun.
What? Wait, what's your?
It's like a gun.
Who's your lord?
We don't have a lord.
We don't have to fight.
We're down
Oh.
here of our own accord. But we've got some lords that we're partial to. some groups. There's the Kegs, Silver Fangs. We had the Ghost of Tarn Keep through here not too long ago.
The Kegs were the Blaze Hatchet group, right?
Yep. No, Kegs were not. Kegs were the bandit side. Marshtown.
Oh, those are the guys that we were supposed to meet up with to help find the kids.
Yep.
Oh, well, we know the Kegs. We were supposed to help them find some kids. There's like 10 children that are missing from Marshtown.
Don't know anything about it,
That's
man.
kind of how we got stuck down here.
I don't mean to be rude, and I don't want to turn to blows, obviously. I'd hate to kill you folks down here, and I'd hate to have to bring my friends in on it. And I'm sure you're probably partial to fighting, what with you being Lord Sanction, that typically who they hire, a bunch of fucking mad, crazy, sword-swinging, small dick-having fucks. But, yeah, I'm not terribly keen on having it. Bloodshed ain't my hobby or nothing. How about this? You give me a good amount of cheddar, and maybe I'll let you through a little neck of the woods. Or you can fuck off. That's it. I mean, where you heading? You can't be making your way anywhere special. You would have gone a different route, eh?
Well, as I said, we're kind of lost. We've never been down here before,
Oh.
so...
Oh, holy shit. Owen isn't included with any of the lords, is he? He's a right cunt, isn't he? He didn't tell you how... He didn't get you a map or nothing? I'm sorry, little lady. You're gonna have to make your way elsewheres.
Well, I've been drawing my own. She'll hold up her journal.
Listen,
Oh.
just special.
Oh my god.
Fucking wonderful. Yeah, so, really
How
not...
much is the toll?
Well, you show me what you got, and I'll tell you if it's good enough or not, and you can keep adding to the stack. Simple as.
Oh.
But, I can tell you, if and you'd like, I could tell you that if you head back the way you came, and you don't bother the locals, I'm sure you could find your way on over to the Fey Gate, or you could head over to that weird scraggly mall, whatever. I don't care, just so long as you...
There's a fake gate?
Yeah, bunch of sand and shit, and it's past the sand. There's a big old barrier. No one's been able to break it.
Oh, we should go look at that. Mom will be very happy. She'll look at Termaine.
It's like a barrier. There's some. Who was that bloke who said what it is? Hold on a second. Hey, Kiffer. Yeah. Who, which one of them fucks from up top came down here and told us about, drowned on about the Fae thing? This big old guy kind of walks out of the shadows. Like, he's been hiding there the whole time and you didn't even realize it. And he's got this big old gun that looks like it's like a pipe attached to, like, gun apparatus. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was them wafflies. The little crazy girl with the fucking weird hat. Yeah, it was her. What was her name? Yeah. What was it, Kipper? I don't fucking remember. She had a weird mouse with its brain showing. I didn't ask her name too much, and when she said it, I fucking ignored it."
Does that sound familiar to me? Because it sounds familiar to me.
The
Is that
Waffly
that
crew
girl
was
in the
the
library?
crew that came down right right after you or right before you. They were the ones who were waiting at the top and then kind of disappeared that either chased in
okay,
or
okay.
yeah, you don't know which of those two are true, whether
Yeah.
they followed you or you followed them.
Without saying anything else, Tremaine turns around and walks back the way they came.
Guess he's not interested in paying. How about you, Les?
I am looking.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Aria will say it out loud.
Oh,
To determine a fair cost, what's on the other side of the crossing?
sorry, ma'am. If you were looking for fair, you should have talked to your cunt lord and told him to make some arrangements, yeah? That's fair's fair. Doing all the talking and doodly-daddling around the table with the lords and whatnot. You came down here, and you're trying to move through our neck of the woods, and we'd be glad to let you do that, if you want to just, give up some of your treasure. If you have it, if you don't got it, it's fine. As I said, fucking off is always an option. It seems your man is keen on that. That's totally fine. We do not want to commit any murders down here. We are just trying to maintain the peace. Your lord hasn't paid. When we get word that that's the case, or if he had given you some sort of signifier from the main lord that what was the case, then that'd been fine. But you don't have that, I'm sure, based on you not knowing fuck all. So yeah, that's about it.
Did you say the Black Spears had paid?
What's that? No.
Oh.
Black Spears.
Well, I guess
Who
we'll
the
come back, and if
fuck?
we have stuff to give you, we'll bring it next time.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And again, if you come on through here, just make sure you don't throw any of those levers. It could cause problems for this whole region. And most of the water heads on over to Hard Gathund, so those Svafneblin would be real fucking buggered if the water wasn't coming through.
Alright, I wasn't sure if, Polygar Blaze Hatchet had any arrangements with you.
The Blaze
What?
Hatchets, no, yeah. The dwarfs don't typically migrate down here, except for that one clan of them dwarfs, fucking ones.
The Altos?
No, that's not it.
Oh.
Wait, are they the ones that set up the little shops and what have you? I don't remember the names, to be honest.
No.
They're not on the list.
Okay, well,
Not on the
Yeah,
list.
with stuff for you next time.
Great.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for your
She'll-
cordialness. I really do appreciate it. Sorry if I use a bunch of swear words. I'm from Marshtown, so we kind of get on, a little cheeky, yeah?
Wait, aren't I from Marshtown?
No.
No.
No, you're from Delgeth, I think. Or
Elsewhere.
Delgun, yeah.
Yeah, we dealt
Goodbye.
with Buttery Ken and the lot. We know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buttery Ken's a real cut. Yeah.
Part of me wishes we would have just.
Name dropping at the end,
Wreck
trying to
them.
get some in.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
But in
it was
character,
not to be.
I wouldn't have. I know.
Oh, I would have.
In character?
Murdered
Oh.
people in their own home. Okay, well, keep that in mind. So, we're going back to some other homes. If you'd like to open them up and just start murdering.
Yeah, there might be vampires
People
in
there.
there,
They
so
might be.
Depends
maybe-
on who's in them.
He did say that the guy said, if you go through there and don't mess with them, I'm sure they'd be fine with you going through their space.
Yeah. I don't want to mess with them. Just so that's clear.
Makes
The
sense.
vampires.
We don't know if they're vampires,
Oh,
but
I'm
they.
sorry. The denizens of
Yes.
That
the
too.
graveyard
Possible
land.
vampires.
So
The
we'll
ones
just-
that have bones in the street.
There's actually a very interesting explanation for that, but we're not going to focus too much on it. So you head back into the Sepulture's Barrow. Do you wish to, from that position, go northeast, north, southwest, and then there would have been the passageway that you came through, which leads back to the sand area.
Sand area.
Okay. So we'll go
We're
ahead.
gonna make Mama proud. Look at that tum tum and them beans.
What a
Oh my
fluffy
god.
syrup.
Oh, it's soup.
Oh.
Oh, what a good baby.
So
He's like
sweet.
bad stuff in this pot.
Good. You guys can like that cat instead of mine, so that he doesn't get a big head and start trying to.
You already got a big
around.
tum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
come
got that
around
big
these
tum.
parts. So, back to this space once again. The sand looks like it's kind of like making its way down in this cavern. This is not the right music for this spot. I think this one. No, the ambient one. That's the ticket. So it looks like the sand kind of like whistles its way down through these rocky structures. The rocky structures you can climb up onto. It's about 15 feet or so to get to the top. And then you can kind of climb your way down on these more solid surfaces if you'd like. Or you can try and make your way through the sand pathway that kind of chisels its way through the rocky structures. Either way is fine.
I vote not being suffocated by unexpected sand waterfalls.
Same.
Or expected sand waterfalls.
Yeah, they'd be expected at that point, I think, if you...
Right.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Expected sand waterfalls.
Yeah. I don't think my cap of water breathing works under sand, so
Correct. However, the spell Water Walk would work here.
Yeah, I have the ring of swimming.
That would work for swimming in the sand if it becomes necessary.
Okay.
but there is a safe-ish pass.
Yes. If you want to go ahead and make either an athletics or an acrobatics, the choice of those two things would determine which path you're taking. Acrobatics would be the sand path. Athletics would be the rocky structure path.
Would that count as climbing?
You do not care if you have a climb speed, correct? For the athletics.
Damn.
But you wouldn't have to roll anything. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have to
Right.
roll
You
anything.
would not care about there being because you have a climb speed, so you can go ahead and just make your way straight through, is what I was saying.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
But for the others who don't have a climb speed,
Oh, great.
Tom, 10 is actually sufficient for you to kind of hobble your way down the rocky structure without harming yourself. Tremaine, you're natural at this. You kind of breeze, sliding the shield, dropping down, parkouring down to the base, so you guys can make it to this position here that I'm pinging. Just go ahead and move your tokens
You
forward.
rolled it good.
I don't see the ping.
I'll ping it again. It's a little
Oh,
bit
all the way
dark.
down there?
Where? Oh. Thank you.
Oh,
Pretty
this
cute
seems
though,
weird.
though.
Okay. So as you make your way to this position, you would see that there appears to be stonework on the ground that looks like it has been destroyed by the presence of sand kind of descending into this space. The rush of sand can be heard all around you, but it's an almost like white noise that's present. And then you can notice too that there's another ambiance, another sound that's resonating through here. It almost sounds like a TV, like from the ages that I think all of us are familiar with, where it wouldn't be really on a channel. It would just kind of be like buzzing.
Attic.
Yeah, that is very present here.
Hmm.
Termaine and Ronnie, in the midst of that, you can hear what you can identify as Sylvan chanting. And if you speak,
Ooh, I know Sylvan. I know Sylvan.
if you speak
Same.
Sylvan, ward, 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 ward. It just seems to be the word ward repeated over and over again in Sylvan.
Sylvan dubstep.
Yep.
Hmm.
Ward, 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 ward.
That would actually kind of be fire, though.
The system is down. The structure in front of you looks like it's like some sort of temple, right? And
Yeah.
the pillars that are broken on the ground and the like are very much similar to the Provider's Temple on Red Hill. Like, it's almost the same type of architecture as the temple up above on the surface.
Well, that's kind of weird, right?
If you continue to approach, and you pass by the pillars, you'd hear the words ward, ward, ward stopping in the static, and they change to our guardian, defender, appear before us. And you'd see up ahead, bear with me here while I blow your mind. Hold on. Bam, boom. A glowing frame in front of you of a door. You'd see a portal appear in front of it, and out of it a serpentine figure start moving in shadow at first, and then more solidly as it takes form before you. The form of a green dragon.
Wow.
Oh no.
It does not appear to be very massive. It looks like it is formidable, though. And it should be showing up on your screen now.
Yes.
As it appears, it says in Sylvan, "Flee, mortals."
We have been fleeing a lot.
Ronnie will reply in Sylvan. We were just looking for more info about the Fey Gate.
It stomps forward with intent. Go ahead and make an initiative roll.
We fighting.
Sorry, guys.
No, I mean, we've done a lot of running.
Nothing wrong with that.
Running?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot.
Okay, so this fight might carry over to the next, so just keep a mind on that.
We won't finish the fight in the next 14 minutes? What?
Against
Probably
the
not.
dragon?
Termaine, you
Oh,
What?
come on.
you are
Well,
first.
make it snappy.
Yep. So Tremaine is just gonna move here. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith, raises my AC to 24. As a free action, I'm going to say in Sylvan, I serve an oath of the ancients. Please let us pass. And then he's going to ready an action to dodge.
Okay. All right. It'll step forward just briefly, and then Sylvan say, "I guard for a greater power," and it spits forward its breath. Ronnie and Termaine both need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sheet is slow.
4. This is great.
I need to reload the page. Hold on.
No worries.
You're good. I will say that I'm very frustrated with these new sheets, though.
17.
So you'll take half, Ronnie, you'll take full. 42 points of poison damage.
42.
As you take in the
I'm
air,
down.
it is sweet at first, and then immediately, for you, Ronnie, it is absolute agony. As you hit the ground, in your dying state, normally you're just kind of unconscious, but flavor-wise, you are roiling around on the ground as your entire body is racked with pain.
So that's not an that's not an attack, and it's not something that can be dodged.
It is a breath weapon. Yeah, it is technically a magic attack. So if you have something that gives you resistance against or advantage on saving throws against a magic attack, but I don't think you're high enough level for that yet.
Nope.
Ronnie, death saving throw.
Cool.
Okay.
13.
So you would see that, like, Termaine, as you kind of turn and look down at your sister, she's kind of like racked with pain on the ground, but she kind of grasps her head and in her dying condition seems to kind of like lock in a torpor. Like she kind of like lets herself kind of find a balance with the pain. Arya, you're up.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna fucking survive this yet, so...
No. That's not how we go into battle. This is the run.
Oh, sorry.
So what?
Apologies.
This is the run.
As a legendary action in between Ronnie and Arya, it's going to swoop back. Basically, you watch as it's kind of form very serpentine and very nimbly kind of snaps back to the gate. I will say one thing, though, that I'm going to give you, Ronnie, before you potentially die. When you see the setup in front of you, you would realize this is not a Fey gate. This is a Fey barrier, of which you had been warned about as well. So, just a heads up there. If you want to check your notes for other content. Okay, Arya.
I have a question. Is a death saving throw considered a is that considered a saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to move 30 feet.
A few more minutes there, should be. Just a little bit longer, okay? Alright.
Yeah, I can't blast that far. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. Then I'm doing math? Question mark. Oh god. Okay. Forward up to 30 feet. Boom.
I don't know if you can hear him when he's crying into the mic.
Oh yeah. He
We
sounds
love to
so
hear
cute.
him.
Look at that little baby. Little beans. Look at that ham.
Okay, I used 30 feet
Eat him up.
to move, and then I'm going to use.
Tom's looking for his cat. So we can have cat offs.
I'm going to use one of my thingies.
Aggress or adrenaline surge, right? What's it called?
Oh, I forgot I had that adrenaline rush.
That's the
I
one.
can take the dash action as a bonus
Which
action.
means you can move 30 more feet
So I can move 30 more feet.
and gain temporary hit points.
Okay. And then I think it's like gain equal to my proficiency bonus, which is what, 3?
Yeah, and if you cast from here, you can hit everybody with bless.
Okay.
Everyone but you, unless you wanted to give yourself bless,
So I used a move. I used a bonus.
and you'll be using an
I'm using an action now to cast Bless.
Are you casting it on everyone but Ronnie?
No, I want to cast it on Ronnie.
She's unconscious.
Wait, can I not? I cannot cast Bless if she's unconscious?
I suppose you could target her. Yeah, that's fair. But like,
because I want her to have,
bonus.
a
on saving
little
throws.
bonus
I
on
see
her
what you're
saving
saying.
throw.
Got it. Okay. Well, then we'll go ahead and do that. Sorry, your
Okay.
color is purple, right? I think I got it
Sure.
here. With yellow for some reason. There we go. All right, blessed up.
Now, I also have my Archfey thingy, which I think is a free action.
Throw it.
Yeah, free action.
Sure.
I cast Misty Step. So I'm going to Misty Step the fuck back.
Okay. And gain.
And gain 1d10 temp hit points.
Okay. Did Adrenaline Rush give you 10 hit points?
Yeah.
They don't stack.
I know.
Okay.
So I'll replace them with the 5.
Got it.
And that's a turn.
Soul, you're up.
How do the scrolls of legally distinct town portal work?
Yeah, sure. So they're a minute casting time. They effectively function like a teleportation circle spell.
So get two.
Let me double check teleportation circle spell casting time is still a minute in 2024.
It's actually 10 minutes.
It is 1 minute. Range is 10 feet. It lasts for 1 round. Basically, it'll create a... actually, it holds the portal there. So it'll create a 5-foot radius circle space. And anybody who walks into that space is effectively adjacent to a space that's designated in the town. And so you can move from that space to town. And the town portal lasts for 24 hours, meaning once it's put up, anything can move from side A to side B without issue.
Oh.
Yourself
And you can't
included.
like just close it.
No. Yeah, unless the same caster casts another one in that 24 hours, that portal's open for 24 hours. Or you cast Dispel Magic, and the check would be required to be a spell level of 6. Because it's just teleportation circle with a buff.
Right.
Alright, well, healing word on Ronnie.
Okay.
Yay! I'm alive.
You get 14 back total because of the moon dagger.
And then do you wish to try and retreat back the way you came?
I sure do.
Okay. Going up the ridge is an athletics check. Going through the pathway is an acrobatics check. Both are DC 10. If you fail on the structure going up, you just don't get any edgeway and your movement's ended.
I sure don't make it.
If you try to go through the sand passageway, DC 10 for the acrobatics check, but if you fail it, you are pushed back towards the bottom 10 feet.
Well, I failed my attempt to climb up, but I have backed up.
Totally chill. Alright, soul done. That seems like a pretty solid end point, except that we will have one last beat before we go. The creature in question is a creature that is too young to typically have legendary actions and lair actions, but you did just watch it utilize a legendary action as a young green dragon. It will now use its lair action. I would like for everyone within sight of the barrier to make a charisma saving throw. Success. Success.
11.
11 is a failure. Success for Arya. Ronnie, you're on the ground, so you're still prone.
Yep.
But you are also now charmed. And during your next turn, the only thing that you will want to do is to move as far away as you can from the barrier.
Oh, I mean, we were doing that way. That
Yeah,
way,
but
apparently.
you
so-
are forced to do nothing else besides to take the dash action and move as fast as you can. And I'll go
So
ahead and
she's just scurrying past everyone.
Just
Correct.
doing what I want.
The barrier is also a fan of that as a play. Okay, and that's where we'll end the session. We'll start with Tremaine on next session. We currently have a Bless that has 10 rounds. Was there any other spell effects that are currently on the docket? No? Okay, great, perfect. We'll see you folks next Friday as we continue the barrier battle. See you then.